another thing with the ability to be able to hold that space and do the listening and being able to support tears and tantrums is, I suppose, putting into ourselves to give us the capacity and the spaciousness to be able to do that listening. That's, again, I often have parents that are so depleted and just have nothing left to give because they're not, you know, giving to themselves. They're not sort of leaning on support networks. They're trying to do it all themselves, and they're not sort of listening to their own bodies and their own triggers and what's coming up for them as a result of having, you know, trying to do the listening. So that's why that sort of, I suppose, the ability to gauge your own capacity in any given time is really important, and leaning on your support networks, having that sort of village of support around you. And also, you know, self-care, little random acts of kindness from your partner or your friends, you know, can go a long way. Just having a hot cuppa, or, you know, getting your partner a drink of water while they're feeding, or saying, oh, can you do the settle tonight? I'm a bit tapped out, or whatever. Those little things can sort of go a long way in providing us with that spaciousness and capacity to do the listening when we need to. And also, by doing the play and having that beautiful bond and connection, it actually brings joy back to parenting. It's not that sort of, you know, real military precision of you eat now, you sleep now, you do this now, and, you know, you're following a routine to the ladder. And that sort of comes back to having those sort of key elements of making sure all of the puzzle pieces, I like to say, we've got to keep moving all the puzzle pieces until we get the perfect formula. So if one of those is out of alignment or in the wrong place, we're not going to be able to achieve optimal sleep. So just as important, those key elements of sleep is the self-care and the village, and, you know, being able to have that spaciousness and capacity to show up every day. It's really, you know, it's a tough gig. It's a roller coaster ride. And just when we think we know what we're doing, they change. Like you said at the start, you know, if you're focused on this is where you're at and this is your routine and this is what you're learning, and they change and we stay here, then we're going to sort of have that, you know, roller coaster of, okay, now we've got to jiggle all those puzzle pieces again to get back into alignment, and then, you know, follow them and change with them. And all the tools are the same as far as, you know, the play and the connection and making sure that they feel safe and secure. It doesn't matter. I've got a 13-year-old and I've got, you know, a 7-year-old, and I did the same with my, you know, them as they were babies. But roughhousing play with the 13-year-old now will be going out and shooting hoops and getting physical with him, and, you know, I might commentate and go, and here he comes, and he's going to come in for a massive layup, or, you know, whatever. And it's creating the fun and the laughter, because that's when they open up, and that's when you have that deep sense of connection, and they feel safe to be able to open up, let you into their lives, tell you about what's going on at school, who you know, who the girlfriend is. You know, they're having trouble with their schoolwork or whatever, because you've provided that sort of vehicle of openness to be able to go, you can bring it to me.
What a concept. Enjoy parenting.
Yeah. Yes, I know, that's exactly right. And that's what I'm hoping to achieve with the, you know, the connection village, to try and, you know, bring the joy back, make, you know, bring connection together, make parents feel empowered and in sort of, I suppose, in control of their journey and what feels right for them, because we can't sort of go with, you know, this, it's not black or white, it's somewhere in grey. So if we're trying to do something that doesn't sit well with us, or we're going against our natural sort of style, or, you know, often parents' styles are very different because they've been raised differently, and then they're trying to raise a human together, and one thinks this is the way and one thinks that's the way. So it's sort of having that alignment and, you know, what feels right for you and your family, and how you can sort of establish that.